Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Hello students. So carbon, as you know, the most abundant element of the earth crust, and in that particular thing we all are made of carbon, right? So carbons can be either carbocations or carbanions or free radicals. Now what does carbocation means? Carbons with positive charge, right? Positive charge means that are devoid of electrons, less electrons are present, whereas carbanion means negative charge, carbon which have more electrons, right? Now question arises, between cations and anions, there is carbocations and carbanions, which one is more stable? Obviously carbocations, right? Why the carbocations are more stable? Because carbon prefers plus charge, right? It is not electronegative, it prefers plus charge. So carbocations are more what? Carbocations are more stable in nature compared to carbanions, right? So basically the matter is that here in this particular lecture we will come across different type of carbocations and carbanions, and we will see that they are stable or not, what are the factors that determine the stability. We are having substitution reactions. So we are stepping into chemical reactions, right? Different type of reactions are there, as you already know. How many types are there? Substitution is there, elimination is there, then third one, addition is there, then oxidation, reduction, rearrangement. What about the last one? Anybody? Any guesses? Last one is polymerization reactions, right? So we will start from the substitution reactions, and in substitution, as you know, there are two types of substitutions, right? One is the nucleophilic substitution, another is the electrophilic substitution. So nucleophilic substitution means one nucleophile, that is something with minus charge, will come up and it will get attached to one particular compound. On the other hand, electrophilic substitution means anything that has plus charge will be getting attached, right? So gradually we will do electrophilic and nucleophilic substitution, and if we see clearly what nucleophilic substitution contains, it is of three types, right? SN1, SN2 and SNI. Nucleophilic substitution reactions of first order SN1, nucleophilic substitution reactions of second order SN2, and internal nucleophilic substitution, which is not in our syllabus. So we'll focus on SN1 and SN2 clearly here. You have seen this in your class 12 exam also. Class 12 syllabus contains SN1 and SN2. Here we are having more details about it. So SN1 means one substrate will be there, it will be converted to a carbocation, a stable carbocation, preferably 3 degree, right? In the first step, and in the second step, what will happen? In the second step, a nucleophile will come up and it will be substituted, right? In SN2, what happens? Backside attack by the nucleophile will be resulting in substitution of the molecule, giving us the product, right?
Hello everyone, this is G. Chakraborty, belonging to the Department of Chemistry, and let us start this lecture. So boys and girls, welcome to this lecture, and this is basically the second lecture of organic reactions, and here in this lecture we will see carbocations, carbanions, free radicals, facts about their stability, as well as different type of substitution reactions will be started here, right? So basically chemical reactions, this module will start from here because the chemical actually reactions like substitution, elimination, that sort of reactions will start from here, okay? Now in the last lecture we people have seen different type of electronic effects. Like now electronic effects are very, very important to us because it is these electronic effects which will clearly state that whether a particular cation or anion or a compound will be stable or not. And if something is not becoming stable after a reaction, then the reaction will not occur. That we people know very well, right? So first we will see what are carbocations, what are carbanions, and what are free radicals, right? Now you people have studied these carbocations and carbanions in your previous classes also, right? So let's see what we are having. Now, if we move to the fact carbocation, see, a carbocation is something which basically is made up of carbon atom, number one, and number two, this particular carbocation can be of different types. Okay. Now, how and what types, that we people will see, right? But before that, let us go to the formal definition of a carbocation. Okay. Now, what does a carbocation means? A carbocation is a carbon which bears a positive charge, right? Now, this carbocation may be stable or unstable. Now, whether it is stable or unstable, how we can understand it? So, we will look into the fact. But before that, we need to see under what condition carbocation is formed. As we people know that carbon under normal condition can form 4 bonds, right? If this is a carbon, it can form a maximum of 4 bonds, right? Let us imagine that we are talking about methyl. So carbon with 4 different hydrogen forms methyl, right? Now, whenever one of this methyl is absent, suppose, say we are removing this one hydrogen, sorry, not methyl, one of the hydrogen, if it is absent, then what happens we need to see. Okay, so if this particular hydrogen is absent, then what will happen? Here the carbon will bear a plus charge. Now we need to see under what condition this plus bearing carbon, that is a carbocation, is stable, and under what conditions it is unstable. Okay, now in order to understand whether a carbocation is stable or not, what we need to see is, we will see that how many methyl groups or this type of alkyl groups are attached to the carbocation, right? Now, in the last lecture, we people have seen about the different type of electronic effects, right? We have seen hyperconjugation and we have seen inductive effect also. Now here inductive effect and hyperconjugation will play a major role in the formation or in the discussion about the carbocation, right? Okay, they will make the carbocation stabilize. Now how? We will discuss that. Okay, now let us see here, we are having methyl, we are having primary, secondary as well as tertiary carbocations. Okay, now this methyl cation, as you can see, it has only 3 hydrogens, right? This primary cation, it has 1 CH3 group, right? This secondary cation, it contains 2 CH3 groups, and this tertiary cation, it contains 3 CH3 groups, right? Now, from our knowledge of inductive effect, we know that very well, that inductive effect means plus I and minus I effect. Now, plus I effect is positive inductive effect, and it means that more the number of plus I effects will be present in a group, more stable will be the carbocation. Okay, why? Because this deficiency of carbon, due to which it is carbocation, it will be solved by the fellow methyl groups. Okay, now what will happen here? We are having no donors in this particular thing. Here we are having 1 donor, here we are having 2 donors, and here we are having 3 donors, right? So definitely from our normal logic, we can understood that tertiary will be most stable and primary will be the least stable, right? So this is all about the stability of carbocations. Also, there is one more fact, that is called hyperconjugation. Now, what is hyperconjugation? If we people look at the fact, then we'll be seeing that hyperconjugation means no bond resonance, right? No bond resonance means here we have to find out how many hydrogens are present as beta hydrogen. More and more the beta hydrogens will be, more will be the stability of the compound. Okay, now how many beta hydrogens are present in the methyl? Number of beta hydrogen is 0. In this particular primary, number of beta hydrogen is 3. Here number of beta hydrogen is 6. In the last one, number of beta hydrogen is 9. Okay, so tertiary will be most stable, followed by primary, so secondary, primary as well as methyl. Okay, so this was all about the stability of carbocation and about the discussion of carbocations, right? So we should always remember that when carbon loses a pair of electrons, then it becomes carbocation, right? Now if this carbocation is all alone, then it is highly unstable. But if this carbocation is having some methyl group or something with it, then it will become stable. Okay, now this methyl, the degree of the methyl group or the number of methyl group increases, then the stability of this carbocation also increases. Okay, so we need to come across these things and we need to think about these things clearly, right? So carbocation is very important, and in the reaction also it will be of great benefit to us. Okay, now let us go for the second page, right? And our second topic is nothing but carbanion. Now carbocation means carbon with positive charge. So whenever carbon will lose one shared pair of electrons, then it will become carbocation, right? That we people have seen. But what about carbanion? See, carbanion is the anion which has extra unpaired share of electrons. Okay, means 3 pair of electrons have been shared and 1 pair of electron is extra. That means basically 1 electron is extra because the other electron of the pair belongs to carbon only, right? So if 1 electron is extra, then it becomes carbanion. And here also the thing is whether carbanion will be stable or not, that we need to see. Now the geometry of this carbanion will be trigonal pyramidal. Okay, and see the stability of these carbanions. If we see the increasing order of stability of carbanions, we will see it is just the reverse of that of the carbocations, right? Why? Answer is very simple. Here we are having 1 donor, here we are having 2 donors, and here we are having 3 donors, right? Now in the last lecture I have explained that suppose you forgot to bought your lunch, right? Say we are discussing about 4 days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think you remember this. So on Monday, in all these 4 days, you are not bringing your lunch, right, to college. Okay. Now on Monday, you are having no friends with you, so you are starving for the day. On Tuesday, you are having 2 friends with you. So 1 friend with you. So 1 friend is sharing his lunch with you. On Wednesday, you are having 2 friends with you. So 2 friends are sharing their lunch with you. And on Thursday, you have 3 friends. So 3 are sharing. So you will be very happy on the Thursday because 3 friends are giving you lunch, followed by Wednesday, followed by Tuesday, followed by Monday. But what will happen if you are having loose motion? You are having lots of food with you, but you cannot eat. At that time, no friends is the desirable condition. If 1 friend, okay. 2 friends, not at all okay. 3 friends, disaster, right? So here, same thing happens. See, this carbon is already having a load of electrons, right? Now 1 donor has come up, so again he will donate his electrons to this particular carbon. Again 2 donors have come up, so 2 donors will donate their electrons to this particular carbon. And if 3 donors are there, then 3 persons will donate their electrons to this particular carbon. So the carbon will be highly unstable, right? This particular carbon will be highly unstable. That's why the most stable carbanion will be methyl, followed by primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay, so remember this very well, because this in turn will help us in determining the stability of the compounds present in a reaction, right? Whenever we'll see about the reactions, we need to see that whether this particular carbons or carbocations or carbanions will be stable or not. Okay, so we need to see this in the reactions, right? So remember this very well, that the stability of carbocations is in the order 3 degree is the most and methyl is least, right? But the stability of carbanions is just opposite. 3 degree is the least, methyl is the most. Okay, now let us go to the next page. We are having free radicals. Now what is the meaning of the word free radical? Let us take blue color, right? What is the meaning of this particular word free radical? Free radical means it is free. Free means it can go anywhere, it can attack anywhere, right? Basically it is unshared pair of electron and it can do anything. Not pair of electrons, sorry, unshared electron, and it can do anything, right? Now you can see here each of the structures has a dot. So this dot basically implies the free radical, right? Okay, now here also we need to see that under what conditions this free radicals will be stabilized. So we can go into the fact that yes, free radicals will be stabilized most at the tertiary condition, and they will be stabilized least at the methyl condition, that is a less than primary condition. Why? Because free radical means the carbon is in normal condition and it is basically deficit of electrons, right? So 3 donors are present for tertiary, so it will be most stable, followed by 2 donors. Secondary, it will be moderately stable. one donor in primary, it will be least stable, and methyl, it will be unstable basically, right? So this was all about the free radicals. Okay. Next, what we are having, let's check it out. We are having, yes, very, very important thing, nucleophilic substitution reactions. Now, what basically substitution reactions are? Anybody can tell me what is the meaning of the word substitution reaction? What is the meaning? See, substitution reaction means something will substitute something, right? Suppose you are sitting at your home, right? And in your place, your some of your friend has come up, and now he is sitting at your place, right? That is substitution reaction. Substitute means just in a station or in a bus or in a train, one person just gets up and other person sits down in his place. That is substitution. Okay. Now here in substitution, what we people will be seeing in substitution reactions, what we people are having, these substitution reactions can be of two types, right? One is electrophilic substitution, another is nucleophilic substitution. Okay. One is E plus means electrophile, so electrophilic substitution, and another is Nu minus. Nu minus means nucleophilic substitution. Okay. Now, among these two, we are studying the nucleophilic substitution reactions here. We are not studying electrophilic substitution, rather we are studying this nucleophilic substitution reactions here, right? This is our topic. Okay. Now, what is a nucleophile? We need to know for that, and what is electrophile? We need to know for that. See here, both the terms are written, nucleophile and electrophile. So nucleophile is something which has an extra pair of electrons. That's why we are writing Nu minus, and electrophile is something which is devoid of or is deficit of a pair of electrons. That's why we are writing E plus. Okay. Now basically this nucleophiles, these nucleophilic substitutions, these are of three types. Okay. You people can say that why you have written two, because in our syllabus we are having SN1 and SN2, but there is one more nucleophilic substitution, that is nothing but SNI. Okay. SNI substitutions are also there, but we are not discussing about SNI because it is not in our syllabus, right? Rather, we will discuss about nucleophilic substitution reactions of first order, nucleophilic substitution reactions of second order. Okay. Now here SN1, we need to see what stands for. This S actually stands for substitution, N stands for nucleophilic, and 1 is for first order. And here same thing, 2 is for second order, and here I is for internal. Okay, right? So this three things are there actually under the heading nucleophilic substitution, but we will study SN1 and SN2 only because SNI is not present in our syllabus. Okay, right? So let's move towards SN1 reaction. Okay, now as you can see, it is written nucleophilic substitution reactions of first order. Question arises, why first order? Why it is said first order? This is very, very important. Why first order? Let us read what is written. So SN1 corresponds to unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Fine. Rate depends on, this one is very, very important. Rate depends on concentration of only one reactant, that is the substrate and not the nucleophile. Now here it is not that much easy to understand without seeing the reaction. So in just the next page we are seeing the reaction, and then our total knowledge will be clear that what this reaction is and why it is called first order, how this reaction occurs. Okay, just read it out so that we can recapitulate after seeing it, the reaction. Okay, now highly substituted reactants undergo SN1 reaction. Increase in substitution favors SN1 pathway, means highly statically hindered species will favor SN1. Question is why? Why more and more groups, if they are present, then SN1 will be favorable? We will see that. First, let us see the factors affecting SN1. So number 1 is nature of the substrate, number 2 is rate of leaving group, and number 3 is nature of solvent. Okay, now this all will be bouncing above your head because we people have not seen the reaction. Let us see the reaction then. See, this is our SN1 reaction. Okay, this is step 1, this is step 2, which clearly implies that SN1 will occur in 2 steps. Okay, so we will read the mechanism later. First of all, let us see what happens in this particular reaction. So as you can see, this is tertiary butyl chloride, tert butyl chloride. Okay, right? Why tertiary? 3 groups are present, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so tertiary butyl chloride. Now here what is happening? First of all, this particular Cl, this is called the leaving group. Okay, this Cl is called the leaving group. It will leave the substrate. Mane, this bond will be broken and Cl will released as Cl minus. Okay. Now if Cl goes as Cl minus, then what will happen? We will get this particular species. This one will get, that is carbon with 3 groups and 1 plus charge. Why plus charge? Because Cl is moving as Cl minus. Means it is moving along with the, it is moving away with the pair of electrons. Okay. Now this particular is the slow step. It is called RDS. RDS. What is RDS? RDS means rate determining step. Now from this particular step, the rate of the reaction can be understood. Okay. Now why this particular step? Why not the next step? And why the slow step is used to determine? Basically the second step is fast. Okay. The second step is fast. Now why slow step is called the rate determining step? This is an important question. You know, have you ever seen a relay race? Can you tell me on what factor, on which of the player the chance of winning of a team depends in a relay race? On which of the factor? The factor is if there are 4 players, right? Let us clear this and let us discuss it. Suppose we have 4 players A, B, C and D. Okay, 4 players are there with us, right? Now among these 4 players, player number A is very fast, player number D is very fast, player number C is player number C is moderate and player number B is weak, right? This particular player is weak, right? This one. Now the chance of winning of this team depends on whom? A and D are fast, so they will run fast, whatever the conditions may be. C is also moderately fast. Now, if B runs a little bit fast, right, then the team will win. And if B is saying, no, I am not in a mood of running, then what will happen? The team will lose. Okay. So, chance of winning of the team always depends on the slowest member of the team. So, similarly, here also, among these 2 steps, second one is fast, first one is slow, right? That's why chance of winning always depends on this particular step, which is called RDS, or the rate determining step. And how much time the reaction will take, that will be determined by this particular step. Okay. Now the first step is over. In the second step, what happens? This carbocation is ready with us. Now as you can see, this is a 3-degree stable carbocation. 1, 2 and 3 groups are present. Tertiary butyl cation. So this is 3-degree stable carbocation. Okay, 3-degree stable carbocation, right? Now, in the second step, what happens? The nucleophile has come up and this nucleophile is attacking the carbocation and we are getting our product. This round thing is our product, okay? We are getting our product here, right? So, basically, this is the fund of SN1 reaction. Now, let us see what this nucleophilic substitution reaction mechanism is. The mechanism says in the first step, formation of carbocation will occur. It is a slow step, high activation, high bond breaking, fine. Then it has 2 important effects that stabilizes it. One is hyperconjugation, another is by resonance. No, it's not resonance, it is inductive effect. Okay, one is hyperconjugation, another is plus I effect, right? These are the 2 factors that stabilizes. And second step is saying it is fast, and here the nucleophilic attack occurs, right? So this was all about SN1 reaction. Now remember this because there are differences between SN1 and SN2. After completion of SN2, we'll discuss about it. Okay, let us move to SN2 reactions, right? So they have come up, that is the nucleophilic substitution reactions of second order. So one question arises, why the previous one was called first order? We have not explained that. Don't worry, after the reactions of SN2, after the SN2 reaction, we will discuss about it. Okay. Now SN2 is bimolecular substitution. Why second order? Because it is bimolecular, right? And basically this reaction is concerted reaction. Here also we will not discuss much. We'll discuss regarding the reaction. Okay. After that we will see. But let us have a look at the factors affecting SN2 reactions. Nature of substrate, nature of nucleophile, rate of leaving group, nature of solvent. Now here one point has been added, that is nature of nucleophile. Why? Because in this particular reaction, let us see the reaction, otherwise you will not understood. Okay, so let us go to the reaction, then we'll explain everything. Now this is the SN2 reaction. Now here what we are having, let's check it out. See, during SN2 reaction, nucleophile first approaches the antibonding molecular orbital. Okay, fine. Here what happens, nucleophile attacks from the back side, right? Nucleophile attacks from the back side, and from the front side the leaving group leaves. Okay, nucleophile is attacking from back side, and from the front side the leaving group leaves. So as you can see in the product, the nucleophile has been attached to the back side and leaving group has left actually, and this particular state is called the intermediate state or the transition state. Okay, now an important thing is that here also first step is slow step. Basically this happens in a single step, right? Now here why it is called second order, that we people will discuss. Tell me how many species are involved in the redetermining step. How many species are involved? If we can clearly notice, this is one and this is the other, right? So as two species are involved in the redetermining step, that's why it is called bimolecular substitution, right? If you remember, in SN1 reaction only one species was there, so it was called first order substitution reaction, right? So single species in the redetermining step makes first order, double species in the redetermining step makes second order. This is the RDS here. Okay, right? This is the first point. Second point is, there are few observations and everything has been written under the heading of differences. So let us go. I think it is just the next slide. So here comes the differences between SN1 and SN2, and as we people can see clearly that let us take yellow. Okay, now as we people can see in the first point, the reaction itself is written that SN1 reaction leads to racemic mixture and SN2 reaction leads to normal 100% product. Why racemic mixture? See, because whenever the carbocation is formed, there is a chance from attack from both the sides, right? That's why DL products are obtained. Okay, these are enantiomers actually. These are mirror image isomers. The mirror will be here. Okay, you people have studied this particular stereochemistry, so you know it. If the mirror is here, these are just mirror image isomers, right? And here retention of configuration occurs, and here inversion of configuration occurs, right? So number one, SN1 reaction takes place in case of 3-degree alkyl halides because it is very much stable, whereas SN2 takes place in 1-degree alkyl halide. Now why? Because 3-degree alkyl halides is favorable in SN1 because there are 3 donors, the carbocation that is formed will be stabilized, right? But in case of this SN2 reaction, backside attack is there. Now, if 3-degree 3 bulky groups are present, they are shielding the carbon, right? Then no attack from the backside can happen. That's why here what happens here, your 1-degree alkyl halides are preferred. Okay, now this second point is very common. SN1 occurs in 2 steps, SN2 occur in 1 step. Here the first step is slow and the redetermining, and here only 1 step is there, that is first, that is last, that is everything, right? And number 4 is rate is proportional to only alkyl halide, rate is proportional to alkyl halide as well as alkali. Alkali is nothing but nucleophile. Okay, next we are having, this is unimolecular, this is bimolecular. This also you people know very well. This is non-concerted, meaning it happens in 2 steps. This concerted means it happens in only 1 step, right? Independent of concentration of alkali, because no alkali is present in the first step, and here it depends on concentration of both alkali as well as the substrate, right? Now carbocation is formed, carbocation is not formed, whether transition state is formed, right? Racemic mixture is formed, racemic mixture is not formed, rather inversion occurs. Inversion means, see here Cl is at the right side and here OH is at the left side, means right left means inversion. Okay, left means retention. See here Cl is at the right side, OH is also at the right side, so it is retention. Okay, now favorable protic solvents are aqueous solvents, and here aprotic solvents are favored. Why? Because otherwise the solvent may act as the nucleophile. Okay, now order of reactivity, 3-degree greater than 2-degree greater than 1-degree, and here order is just reverse. 1-degree is better, 3-degree is not better, it is least. Okay, and here rearrangement may occur, rearrangement will not occur, right? So this was all about the details of SN1 and SN2 reaction, and here in this particular lecture, first we have explained what is carbocation, what is carbanon, because this carbocation and carbanions and free radicals also, these are involved in the reactions, and without knowing about the stability of these particular things, the study of reaction is not possible. Okay, and after that we have seen very brief detailed conversation between the SN1 and SN2 reaction. Now difference between SN1 and SN2 reaction is very important, and itself the question is very important. If you see the year question, this question comes very often. So I hope your SN1 and SN2 regarding thinking or problem, whatever you people would be having, that is solved. If you have any doubts, just do one thing, you just mail me up or ring me up and we will discuss, and I will go to some solution. Okay, because this thing is very important and it is very interesting, right? So thank you so much for this lecture. In the next lecture we'll be seeing two more type of reactions. One is elimination reaction and the other is addition reaction. Okay, so see you in the next lecture. Till then, thank you and stay safe and take care. Okay, thank you.